I'm here at Sokol Blosser Winery in Oregon. Oregon's an incredible place, and I'm here with Alex Sokol Blosser. Alex, how are you?
Thanks, Ray. I'm doing great. You made it to Oregon. And you got a nice liquid sunshine. Welcome here. Our original winery structure was built for the harvest in 1977. And then in 1978, we built our first tasting room. And that tasting room was, we still here, it's just right across the way. And it was, the architect for that was John Storrs, who was one of, as famous as an Oregon architect can get. That just served its purpose for 20, 30 years. And then about 5 years ago, we hired another local architect, Allied Works, Brad Klopfel, and he designed this current structure. So we're actually just about going into 5 years old with our new tasting room. And like with our old tasting room, we wanted something that when you come here, it reminds you that you're in Oregon. Because so much about our Pinot Noir is trying to tie you to a sense of place. So, when you come to Sokol Blosser, we don't want you to think that, oh, is this France? Is this Italy? Where am I? No, you're in Oregon. So you're going to see a lot of Western red cedar. You're going to see a lot of wood because that's what Oregon's about. Big forestry is a big part of what we do in Oregon. And just like the Pinot Noir, we want you to get a sense of the terroir through our architecture. So this building was intentional to try to frame that up when you visit. Oregon has come such a long ways in the last 50 plus years that when we decided to redo our tasting room, people decide to visit Oregon wine country, and they're saying, well, do I go visit France or Oregon or Argentina? Because we're such an international wine tourism spot that we got to compete with the world now. It's not just our neighbors down south. It's where do we go? Well, we should go to Oregon. Pinot Noir is amazing. Well, we got to bring our A game. And so hence you're seeing a lot of amazing facilities in Oregon now because we're on the world stage and, go big or go home. Well, Oregon will shape you. We've had, because we've had a lot of Californians and, French from all over the world come here. My mom's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My dad's from Berkeley, California. So my parents are imports. Implants? No, not implants.
They definitely have implants.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they had implants.
Woo! That slipped. Yeah, no. So they moved here. They're not natives. But the Oregon shapes you because, and the ethos, the soul of Oregon, really started. Go back a ways. Started with the Oregon Trail. Because once all the white man came to, once they got to Boise on the Oregon Trail, they had a decision to make. This is in the 1840s. Do they go straight into Oregon, where they're given, 360 acres of land and they can farm? Or do they go north to Seattle because of the Alaska gold rush? Or do they go south to California because of the California gold rush? So the people who wanted to go shoot the moon and go for broke went north to Washington and south to California. The people who just wanted to farm and have a good lifestyle, not go for broke, came straight to Oregon. And that kind of ethic remains today. Like I was mentioning to you before the interview, is my friends who want to go crazy and make a lot of money, they leave. Yeah. You got to leave Oregon. They go north to Seattle, where the big businesses are, or south to California, where the big businesses are. And the people who stay in Oregon, it's a lifestyle state. So what that means is we have the strictest land use laws in the country. We have public beaches. Our right is the beauty of the state, and no one's going to take that from us. That is your God-given right as an Oregonian. Is you get the beauty, and we all defend the beauty. Born here, probably going to die here. Not anytime soon. But as you get older and graduate from high school and you go to college, and then you look back and you realize, holy shit, I kind of like that lifestyle. I kind of like doing the vineyard. I love making the wine. You get, you miss work and harvest. You miss that thrill. And every time I would go off and do something else, coming back to Oregon was kind of like, that's where I would be able to reset. When I joined the Air Force Reserves and I came back from my training, driving back into the state. It could have been because most of my training was in Texas, and leaving Texas felt so good. But driving back into Oregon from Texas, I was crying. I'm like, oh my God, I like being home is so special. And I remember coming home from basic training and training. I jumped right into harvest time, so that kind of helped ground me. And but you just realize that I realized that there was a lot of inertia working on me to work in the family business that I had no idea was working. It's just kind of like you're a sharp rock in a stream, and you don't know that the water is slowly forming you into a nice round pebble. So, in the mid 90s, I didn't go straight 4 years of college, but in the mid 90s, late 90s, when I finally got my degree, I was that nice round pebble in the business. And I'm like, wow, I want to do this full time. And I was working for our local beer and wine distributor, our distributor actually for Sokol-Blosser. And I worked there for a little over a year selling wine and natural beverages. And my mom saw that I could sell, and she said, hey, I know you've worked production your whole life. Why don't you come and sell wine at Sokol-Blosser? And I'm like, wow, I never thought about doing that. Wow. And that was in 1998. So I started working full-time, not just seasonal production, but full-time with benefits and, on the road selling Sokol-Blosser. And I've been here ever since.